Hello, everyone. Welcome to Realm Smith's Aftermath. I'm your host, Hillary Z. We are live. It is, what day is it? It is Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We have a very fun episode for you tonight, so stick around for some interesting questions, and at the end we will be doing our giveaway for the latest Champions of the Realm winner predictions. Just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Forged Gaming. They are a really amazing company that provides all sorts of accessories for game masters and players alike, and they have provided us with a discount code, so add the word RealmSmith20, all one word, at checkout to receive 20% off your entire order. So thanks, Forged Gaming. Tune in Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern for our main title show, Tides of Wildemount, as we follow the Seditious Six on their way through the Marrow Valley, hoping to get the oracle to the person she is seeking, but there may be a mystery that they need to solve first. And of course, join us Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern for our new show, Champions of the Realm. We are getting really close to our final championship face-off. We are very excited. We just saw the first of the two semifinal matches between Esmeralda and Barrowen, who will be our next contender to take on the unstoppable Esmeralda. So join us Wednesday to find out the results of the Vlanya versus Baloth head-to-head matchup. And now I would like to invite on our guests for today. The first, of course, is our very own DM, Jason Azevedo. And today we have a very special guest. I am honored to announce a champion in his own right, the California Kid himself. We are honored to have him as one of our announcers for our championship, the one and only UFC Hall of Famer, Uriah Faber.
Welcome. Thanks for being.
Hey, what's up? How are you guys?
Good, good. First of all, I'm jealous of the palm trees that I'm seeing. I spent hours the last 2 days shoveling snow. So
look at this guy. He's shutting me out. It's my little man. What you doing, no?
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, he's adorable.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, see you later, Dad.
Peace out. You're on dad duty. That's awesome. So good. That's so good. Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah. I know you're home with the kids alone, so but we appreciate you taking some time to do this.
Yeah, my pleasure. I didn't know that I was gonna be home alone. Last minute change of plans. So here we are. Mickey Mouse on and Rome's running free.
I love it. I love it.
Well, if you have to run away to do dad duty, you're more than welcome to. We understand. So for everyone watching live, if you have any questions for Jason or Uriah, go ahead and put it into the chat, prefaced by the word question in all caps, so that our moderators can easily find them and give them over to me. And with that, I think we might as well get into talking about this latest episode of Champions of the Realm, which was very fun. But before I guess we get into that, I guess we should talk a little bit about our guest Uriah. This, I believe, was your first foray into the D&D world, and many in our community hope it maybe won't be the last, but you've made a name for yourself in a very different industry. Can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm a mixed martial artist. That's basically anything under fight, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, judo. And so I was a college wrestler, had a 19 year career as a fighter, over 46 fights. And for me, this was my first time in the D&D world, and it was super entertaining. I literally, was intrigued and impressed with the whole culture behind it, and had a lot of fun being involved.
That is awesome. We had a lot of fun having you involved. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I think we lost Uriah.
Oh, no, he's here.
He's here.
Just a little choppy.
There you go.
That's all.
There he is.
You guys there?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, let me move around here.
No worries.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I have my buddy Joe Manganiello. I know he's super into this world, so I've had a couple of his jackets and shirts come through the house, but didn't really know what it was, to be honest. I haven't taken the time, and so my first intro was super involved, and I'm pumped that I decided to be a part of it.
It was really, really fun having you around. And I really feel like your experience, like being involved with and watching so many bouts, added a layer of legitimacy almost to what we were doing. It was really cool.
There's a real, hey, all combats got some commonalities, and even the the play combat, which we saw a lot of, and people got nasty. I think usually the D&D world is pretty cooperative, so having that element of competition was pretty cool.
Well, now we must know how that initial conversation happened where Jason invited you to be a part of our world, and what was your kind of imagination of what would be happening?
Yeah, I can start.
Well,
I can start there, Uriah,
go
if you want, and you can take it from there. For
Yeah.
me, I've been a lifelong UFC fan, pretty hardcore, and watched many of Uriah's fights. And when we were thinking about PvP, I really wanted to kind of tie the MMA world and D&D together, and I had no idea how I do it. If you had asked me, 5 years ago, if it would ever be possible, and that Uriah Faber would be on our show, I'll tell you, I would have said no way in hell. But PvP made a lot of sense, and not only from a battle perspective, but just the hype perspective, and the hype of what a professional show is like. Um, and what goes into kind of that production. And so I remember Joel and I sitting around saying, who should we have on the show? And we'd love to have commentators. I was like, dude, what if we reached out to Bruce Buffer? Like, what are the chances we could get Bruce Buffer to announce the fighters? And we're like, there's no way. And so we literally went on the website and emailed Bruce, and Bruce got back to us and said, yeah, I'm interested. Let's talk. And then I said, well, we're looking for fighters who are local to LA. And I said, I know Uriah is in California. And he's like, oh my gosh, Uriah is one of my business partners. Let's do it. And so he made the introduction, and then we had a lot of conversation, and here we are. So it was pretty wild. It was pretty serendipitous, and kind of really quickly actually came together. And I remember reaching out to Uriah and being like, hey, we do this thing, it's D&D, and so on and so forth. And wasn't even sure, and he was super excited. And you can take it from there, Uriah, about how you felt about the whole thing. I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, it's definitely out of my wheelhouse, and definitely a different audience than I'm probably exposed to for and it's also super creative, which I am. I've been known for that in my career. Also, been a guy that is known for thinking outside the box in a bunch of different realms, whether it be in the fight space or outside of fight space with business, etc. And so it was something I wanted to explore more. And Bruce is a good friend of mine. We are business partners on a MMA Surge, which is a production company, and also a bunch of other little things that are involved in our space. And so when I heard he was going to do it, and it was something that was out of my comfort zone, I was all for it.
Yeah, and I remember you saying you get offered a lot of commentating gigs and things within the MMA space, and you like to do things that are kind of like outside of your element to try and whether it be grow your audience or whatever the case may be, but just to again feel challenged outside of the norm of what typically you would do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody in the fight game can transition to commentary in that world, but this is a whole different animal, and you need to have a special skill set of play and imagination and open-mindedness to be involved in this journey, and I'm all for it. I had a lot of fun with it. I've been doing a lot of stuff that's kind of outside of my zone. I just got into the crypto world for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Had no idea what that was all about. We got the D&D stuff going. I'm a new dad. It's like a whole new world for me.
So many new adventures ahead.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and actually that's interesting, because I mean I want to say I hesitate to say retired because I want to see you fight again. So let's say
Yes.
semi-retired.
Warmer.
As a semi-retired Hall of Famer, what does Uriah Faber keep his day busy doing?
Oh man, I stay really busy. Right now, I'm feeding an avocado to my son while we do this interview. But you know, my day starts early in the morning. I'm up with the kiddos and try to give them some designated time before I leave for work around between 8:30 and 9:30 on the day, and then I spend the day either actively in the gym, helping bring in the next generation of fighters and running my business. I've got a couple of gyms in Sacramento, and my gym facility is 40,000 square foot with, it's this general gym. We have an outdoor area. We have a cafe. We have sauna. It's a big operation. And then I just fill the day with business and actions. So in betweens, I'm taking phone calls and being busy. And I need this. That's how I roll.
It's great. It's so good.
We've got a question for you from one of our Discord members, Lucky Rick. He wants to know, I guess you've already said you didn't have a lot of experience with D&D coming into this, but he wanted to know if your expectations of D&D compared to reality, and if you would be maybe up to playing sometime. Got a lot of questions about that.
I honestly had no expectations. I'm a pretty, I wouldn't say self-centered, but self-indulged individual. Like when I'm into something, like I used to love football when I played football and was involved in football, and I haven't really followed football for a lot of years now at this point. I still have love for the thing, but then I'm in the fight game. I'm all into the fight game. And then I got into business. I'm all into business. So I hadn't thought about it, to be honest. And so I was a complete open book, and it was great to have like the thing explained to me. And it was also great to have some of the best players in the world right at my right in front of me. That was pretty cool. And so would I be open to play? Absolutely. I'd have to really do some research on what my life in the D&D world would have to look like. And then I'd have to find the time to do it. And, these guys don't help with
that. Adorable. I remember.
But I would like to play that. I probably talk to Joe Manganiello a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy that I think would be fun to get an intro with and maybe learn from him a bit.
He's a legend.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he. It's funny because I remember the moment. It was the clinch moment in the studio when you had arrived and I remember you standing there and we were having our safety briefing, and I remember Omega coming down with his makeup and Satine coming in with their ears, and everybody kind of in costume and in cosplay. And I remember looking over at you and the look on your face. You were taking it all in. And in that moment, I thought, oh my God, this is the worst idea I've ever had in my life. But and I was like, just not knowing what you thought of the whole experience with everybody in cosplay and stuff, because it's quite different than a lot of things. And dude, let me tell you, man, the way that you jumped in and didn't miss a step, like first bout, had no problems with a system. And so just so everybody knows at home, like Uriah hadn't even touched Dungeons and Dragons before setting foot on our studio. And that was intentional. Like for me, I wanted to make sure that he came into it fresh so that he could apply real world combat knowledge to something that was make believe. And so he didn't know anything at all. And watching the episodes, you'd think that, and a lot of people have asked, I didn't know Uriah played D&D. I didn't know he was part of this world. And frankly, he wasn't, which just tells you kind of the ability that Uriah has in order to kind of absorb and then be able to act. So But what was that like, Uriah? What was that first thought when you saw everybody in their costumes come out and the first day on set when you stepped on? What was that like?
Well, first and foremost, it was like, I love people that are all in on things. I mean, you get good at anything. I tell my fighters also that they're all in. They literally, you know, that's their day, that's their night. They're into it. And it was obvious to me that this group of experts really were all in on this stuff and knew it like the back of their hand. And then even my co-host, having her as a, you know, as a tutor and an instructor and someone to bounce things off of was really, really nice and really, really, I mean, I could ask her a question in between rounds and give me a detailed and entertaining answer to everything. So I had a great team around me, that's for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, Becca was such a great kind of contrast to your style too, and I thought that you guys really complemented each other. Her knowledge of D&D and your, you know, ability to kind of break it down at a very kind of visceral level.
This guy just ate it in his face.
Oh no!
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
He was doing spins and ate it right on his face. Oh, it's okay.
Oh, buddy.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, buddy, is he good? Oh no. We're getting real life, folks. This is what real life looks like. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's good.
Oh, he looks like he feels a little better now with Papa.
Oh.
Well, while he's performing dad duty, I will ask a question for you, Jason, from Julia Taylor. And I think you kind of touched on this a little bit already, but how did you manage to get Bruce Buffer to announce this?
It's kind of
question from Julia Taylor.
Yeah, it's funny because Joel and I we were sitting on the couch, and it was a very kind of last minute thing. Like, I want to say last minute, the last couple of weeks of our design and our kind of preparation of this whole thing. It was like, you know, I'd love to have, and we were watching some UFC stuff to get some inspiration. And then I showed him a video of Bruce Buffer, and we were like, dude, I was like, dude, what if we could get him? Like, what would it take? And I was like, I don't know. So we like literally Googled it, went to his website, found out that he does custom like recordings, emailed him, and then literally hours later got an email back. No, wait, he called first. And I missed Bruce Buffer's call. And I was like, wait, and you can tell Joel, I mean, I don't fanboy or fangirl a lot, but that was a moment for me, with the veteran voice of the Octagon kind of calling me. Anyways, and so then he emailed me and we chatted back and forth, and then he was happy to do it. He's done a lot of voiceover for video games and things like that. So it was a lot sort of the same. Obviously, he wasn't live on studio this time, but yeah, honestly, it was so it's added so much to the experience to have Bruce announcing the fighters as they come in. It just really has given it some validity to the whole experience. Oh,
he's saying pony. It's his new favorite words. But on the Bruce front, we have a, you know, our business partner, actually the guy that runs the show and actually helps.
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
So cute.
Garrett Manchusco, he's the one that made the connection for me also, and he works fast and is diligent, and I think he's a fan also of this world. So
yeah, he was great.
That helps out.
Yeah, he was great.
He helped on the pitch.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
and it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
Every time Bruce Buffer says Realmsmith, it like blows my mind a little bit. I'm like, this is happening.
Yeah, I know. It's nuts. It's
so
crazy.
Cool.
It's crazy.
So what do you guys think's next for this thing?
Yeah. So we're actually in the midst right now of, like, we have two episodes to go. for this season. And it's been going really, really well. And frankly, we're super excited for season 2. And so we've started conversations. We've put a outline and a pitch together and a roadmap. And now we're talking to our partners and our sponsors about what that looks like. So if we do it again, I'm hoping that you'll say yes as I put you on the spot, Uriah, that you'll be a part of this again.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah.
I definitely want to talk about it and see what you guys have in store. I mean, I had a great time on the first one and felt like I got to be a little part of the community. But yeah, I'm excited. I want to hear what's next. And I know you guys did a great job this time around. I'm sure you're planning on stepping up the next time as well.
Yeah, it's next level. So we're super excited.
Hey, is there much tie-ins with the whole crypto world and the D&D world, or are they? Because I'm getting into this whole crypto thing. There's like a serious community involved, which is strange. You guys aware of that? Like
no, I don't know how much tie-in there is actually.
Contrast or anything?
Yeah, that's a good idea. There isn't. I don't think there's a lot. I know Joel is really well versed actually in the crypto world, and kind of knows about that stuff. But not that I know of yet. But Joel will probably be a good guy to answer that question for sure.
My buddies, those are the guys that are watching that are into that that world. My buddy started this Cheddar coin, which I knew nothing about, and it was hit big for me. I don't know this world at all, so I'm just sitting back and watching this whole thing. But they might be a good sponsor for you guys.
Oh, that'd be great.
If they keep going the way they're at, I'm gonna talk to them and be like, hey, for the this realm, I feel like there might be some crossover. I'm going to talk to them about possibly coming in as a sponsor.
I love that. Yeah, we should absolutely have more discussions, and I'd like to fly to California to do that. Because we still got him?
Uh-oh. Yep, we're good.
Yeah, we still got him. Good. Yeah, I'd like to come out that way. I'll fly out there and we'll have a chat.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Cool. Awesome. I'm gonna let you go do your daddy thing.
Okay.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, Rome's all healed up, but just in time. I appreciate you guys having me on. Looking forward to knowing what's next.
Thanks, buddy. We'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
We'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
Bye.
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 We'll be right back. And we're back.
Oh. Hello. Welcome back.
Oh, you're
Thanks
right.
very much. Transition.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That's just an example of Uriah and his world. That's just what he's just always on the go. Awesome dad. And was calling his kids on the set all the time, and just a really driven, fantastic gentleman. So, yeah.
And an incredible fighter. I was watching some of his fights today while I was doing some research. Man,
let me tell you,
an incredible fighter, but also super quick at the end of the fight to give a big old hug.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I'm watching one of these fights and then at the end the fighters have a genuine sweet moment afterwards, I get a little tear in my eye. Yeah. I'm like, ooh, bro love is so cute.
Yeah, no, I love it. And And he, I mean, he was one of my favorite fighters. Watching him, so again, this is a little surreal for me. Living dreams all over the place. But
Earned it, Jay.
what's that?
Put a lot of work in. You've earned it. You put a
Yeah,
lot of work
thanks,
into this.
thanks. But it's just been such a great experience. To again watch him fight all these years. He never won a championship in the UFC. Came super close a number of times, but did win in WEC before he came to the UFC, and then of course is a Hall of Famer, and just a solid dude. So my moment was on set. I got to do a face off, and I have that photo I think on my Instagram against him, like a stare down face off UFC thing. It's ridiculous. I felt like I was gonna die.
That's so
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Just looking at him, I felt like maybe I might just lose consciousness just from looking
Pass
into his
out.
face. Yeah. Um, but it's cool. Like the studio was cold, as most studios are, and so to warm up, he would be like doing rounds and warm ups and in the back. It was quite the experience to have him. I feel blessed and honored, and it was pretty great.
Well, I would like to talk about Tides,
Yeah.
but we do have one or two questions left over.
Sure.
Actually, maybe just one from T-Rob19.
Yeah.
Of course, because we were just talking about Joe, Mr. Manganello.
Yes.
Can we have Archon the Cruel played by Joe next season?
Maybe.
He's hard to pin down.
We will work it out. We'll try work. I talked to Joe actually about it this season, and he couldn't make that work. But we will absolutely have conversations. He was actually filming, I think, in somewhere else in the world.
He's busy.
I don't know. It is on his socials. He was in Ireland filming that show he's on. So obviously super busy. But yeah, he couldn't make it out that time. But hopefully next time. That would be fantastic.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Archon was legendary even before he guest starred on.
Sure was. Yep. Sure friggin' was.
That would be very fun. I'm pretty sure he was one of the original Idol Champions characters.
I think he was really early on. Yeah. Super early on.
All right. Well, now let's talk about Tides. This season has been very fun so far. Thematically and tonally about as different from Curse of Strahd as possible. Which has been very fun. It's been a nice change.
Yep.
I do love me some Curse of Strahd, especially the way that you guys play it, but it's been really fun seeing such a different world. I think everybody probably knows I'm a huge critter myself, and so it's just been like such an honor to be playing in Matt's world. So how are you feeling about the campaign so far? How you doing, Jay?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a loaded question. It's great. I'm super busy. But what else is new? Champions has taken up a lot of time, and so it's doubled the workload, as it were, I guess, in some ways. I'm not as busy as Joel is on Champions, who he is single-handedly editing every single episode at home in his editing dungeon. So just send him food and water.
Maybe an ale
or something. But no, he's fantastic, and he's doing such an incredible job. I can't talk about that enough. And the Smithgardians are holding down the fort on the Discord and Patreon side, so super thankful to you guys for that, so that I can focus on not only Tides and the marketing and stuff and the weekly stuff that has to happen with Champions, but then also what's next. And so I just submitted 3 different concepts for D&D content, and we'll see what happens. But we're working on some new stuff that we're very, very excited about. And all of it is, except for one, which we've now seen, all of it is quite different than what we've done for Realmsmith. And so, we're going to continue doing our live streams weekly. But Joel says food. We're going to continue doing what we do weekly with our live streams, but we're going to add some limited series sort of stuff, just like Champions, that sits outside of the normal kind of long play, actual play, live stream stuff, D&D stuff, as kind of little shows that will slot in. So very excited, super stinking pumped for it. It's going to be fantastic. And we're
Can
excited.
you give us any hints what those might be? You know, I gotta ask.
Oh man, Joel, what can we say? I know Joel's in the chat. If it was Joel here, you guys would know everything. That's why we keep him off the camera, other than when he's playing little French halflings. What can I say? One concept is, oh, what can I say, Joel?
If you can't say anything, that's
No, I
okay.
can't. I want to. One is kind of a psychological thriller.
We know you love that.
I do, and I'm leaning into, I think the ability that I have to kind of do scary and tense and suspenseful, and I've been told, Jay, lean into that. You do that well. So this is our foray deep into that.
Ooh.
And so that's one concept that we're working on potentially right now. And that will focus, that will feature some pretty accomplished actors, and not anybody you've seen on streams before. So all new faces.
Not anybody we've seen on
Not
streams
anybody,
before?
no.
Oh, new
Yes,
members of the Realm.
yes. So that's the first. Again, all of this is completely might change in the next week.
Yes.
That's the first one. The second one is is a is a take on a popular reality TV show. So it's a spoof on a reality TV show that's quite popular, with the
Okay.
D&D injected. Like complete with
Cool.
like confessional booth stuff and like stuff like that. It's it's great. It's fantastic. In fact, I have to give credit where credit's due. We were on a call with the D&D folks, and we were talking about like giving a reality TV bent to some D&D and see how that goes and have some fun with it and do some spoofs. And one of them on the call said, "Well, we've been joking about this," and I was like, "Hold my beer, here we go." And so we'll see. So, anyways, those are two concepts that we are throwing around, and then what's next for champions, and because we are doubling down on the concept for champions and really want to knock it out of the park this time around. It's going to be something else, I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, the first one was already pretty darn good. It was a learning experience in a lot of ways, and I think we've gotten some really good feedback, and I am super excited to see what you guys can do with the new season. That'll be really, really cool.
Yeah, we're what can I talk about? I mean, we probably talk about this more at the end of this season, but I think that we want to lean more into, I don't want to say the esports angle because we don't want to make it that. It's not that, but we definitely want to make it bigger. We want it to.
Bigger in what way?
How do I say this?
Sorry, I'm asking all the hard
questions. I like
questions.
the hard questions. I'm not afraid. Sup, Omega? Omega's in the chat. What's up?
Omega.
Lots more matches. Let's just say that, but in a different way. I don't know how else to say it. But yeah, we're looking at having more people involved over a longer period of time. We're looking at the production going bigger. Before we were in a small studio, we're looking at larger venues potentially. Yeah, we're taking it super seriously. I think that this was kind of a proof of concept the first season, almost like a pilot season, to see how people enjoyed it. And we learned a lot of things. I've learned a lot of things about how important rules are to people when it comes to PvP. And so, there's a lot of things that we're going to be doing a little differently, and that we've learned, because you don't know what you don't know. So going into this thing, there were a lot of things that we kind of guessed at, and a lot of things we were right about, which is great and actually awesome to see. But people are really enjoying it, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is great! I'd just like to see this," or "This is really great. They should do this." And so we're taking all of that feedback, all of those notes, applying it, and then we'll see what's next. Very excited.
Very much so. That'll be very, very fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's switch over to some Discord / Seditious Six / maybe that's a good segue into a question that I had about the name of the party. Because the name of the party was given to them by the people that were hunting them on the Menagerie Coast.
Yeah.
They are now moving away from the Menagerie Coast. Yep. And I'm sure they're not completely out of the weeds, but you know, they were wanted on the Menagerie Coast, not in the Empire. Do we need a new name?
That's a great question. Maybe, like I kind of, I mean, I'd like typically, or I like it to come out of the narrative, so somewhat organically. Yeah. And so this one, the last name, I think it was voted on. I think we had like yeah, if it were to change, it'd have to be kind of natural. It would have to happen kind of in the narrative. It would have to be something that they've done that somebody kind of noticed, and then it kind of happens. But as it stands right now, there's still the Seditious Six. I was gonna say Seditious Six. That's something. I almost said something not nice. You have to be careful with those two words put together. There's a lot of unfortunate. Yeah.
Let's see here. We have a question from Julia Taylor, which is something I've actually been wondering about. Excuse me. How hard is it now that the cast is down a few to juggle and get everything moving forward while keeping everyone still in play? And I will add to that saying, how much more difficulty is it now that you're playing 3 other
2? So
NPCs?
yeah, it's not 3 actually. Last session it was Plunk and Gaziel and Yanil. I find it challenging personally to play NPCs, a lot of them, because it takes you out of kind of like my notes and what I have, and Yanil's not so bad, but when you're playing another player character, there's a whole other level of mindset that you have to have in. So like, what would and Julia Taylor, no, we are not renaming them the Sexy Six, even though I know that vote would probably go over with the community. That is not happening. But yeah, I find it challenging. So I just want people to be back at the table, Joel.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do that.
You have to release him from the editing dungeon first, though, Jay.
Well, this week he may be back. We'll see.
I gotta say though, it was really, really fun having Julian back at the table.
It's great. It was great. I've wanted to have Julian back for a while.
So fun.
And he's a great role player. He's a great D&Der. And he does so much for us that I just wanted to kind of throw Jules a bone and say, hey, buddy, come play. And he was very gracious. Like, if when I said, hey, buddy, will you play? He's like, whatever's best for this show. Like, I can or I can't, and I'll produce or I'll play. Like, he's just so good that way. So, bless him. He's a good dude. But yeah, it was great. And his little, his interactions with Bolt were real fun, with the whole Pepperbox thing, and that was really good. It was really good. I can't wait to have Joel back at the table with the 3 of them and see how that goes. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Leads well into a question from Jaybird83. Hi, Jaybird.
What's up, Jaybird?
Is Julian's character really a bounty hunter waiting to take the group in after he used them for another mission?
No comment on Julian's intentions, or his character's intentions.
Gregory.
Yeah.
All right, that answers that. Sorry, Jaybird. I wish I could give you more of an answer. Something I've been wanting to ask for a little bit, and I don't know how we somehow haven't talked about this in all of the months of planning that we did for the Discord, but Herethus, if you read the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, there's like a paragraph on it. There's really not a lot of information. There's one episode in the Mighty Nine where they talked about it a little bit. How did you decide on Herethus as the location for the Discord players?
Yeah, I kind of looked at the trajectory that the party was going to be taking through Wildemount. And it was as simple as me saying, "Oh, what's the Herethus Mines?" and then reading about it, and then really digging kind of the story, and then together, all of us, especially you and I, Hillary, kind of digging deeper into the lore around it and why it might be there, um, and then watching back the Vox Machina episode where they were there, and then adding some of those Easter eggs into the descriptions and the story and the lore. Yeah. So really, honestly, it was kind of the coolest sort of spot in between where the players started at the gate and where they were going to make sure that those two worlds kind of intersect and interact this season.
We just got a, excuse me, my throat is like super dry today.
No worries.
We just got a question from an audience member that I don't know that you can answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Gunter Rex wants to know, going back to the reality show idea, is it like Real World Wildemount or like The Bachelor?
I can't say. No, I can't say.
Yes, no, maybe.
Although The Bachelor at the Sexy Six, maybe next season we take a break from Tides and we do a version of The Bachelor with the Sexy Six. I think that's perfect.
Oh yes, that sounds like the way to go. Let's do that. So we are moving farther into the Marrow Valley. We seem a little bit torn all of a sudden between going and helping the Oracle immediately and figuring out what the heck is going on with these wolves. How's Yanil feeling about the party maybe getting a little distracted on their way? Is there urgency? How's she doing?
Yeah, I think she's made it pretty clear that she's a little concerned. But yeah, but that said, she's also been, shackled, chained up for 400 years. So, like, she's in a rush, but time's ticking. But at the same time, she knows that she needs to move on and get the party moving, and also at their own, their own speed, and fate will decide, and all of that kind of stuff that she kind of believes in. So
yeah. So she's willing to wait a little bit if it means eventually these people will get her there.
Yeah.
Julia Taylor wants to know if the abandoned place that was maybe mentioned in the last episode was maybe
Sure
the
was.
Herethus Mines.
Sure was. I think I actually named it. I think I said, that there's did I say Herethus Mine or did I say abandoned mine? I may not.
I think you just said Platinum Mine.
Ah, very nice. Yes, that was absolutely a nod to Herethus.
Yes. And I'm sure many people are wondering the question that Ket Matari just asked is, of course, if the party comes to Herethus, will they have RP access for the Discord?
Yes, 100%. Absolutely. That is the intention. The intention is for the party to intersect and interact with the settlers at the mine when they pass through.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was like the main reason that we wanted to move away from the coast, so that we have that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because we know how much fun it is for the community, and it's a lot of fun when the players have time to hop in and chat with everyone. And we love giving gifts.
Absolutely.
And I got to read this comment from Omega. Hey, we made a plan, and Greg, and then in parentheses in all caps, I'm still suspicious, was so pushy about the wolf thing. We decided to hit the forest since it's on the way to Comorta, so we'll be fine.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's just fine.
It's fine.
Everything will be fine.
It's great.
Well, we know where they left off at the end of last episode, so.
Yeah, I definitely didn't miss the last 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, it wasn't good. No, it was good, actually. They did very well. I'm
going to have to finish watching it. I'm like right at the end. I haven't had a chance to like watch the very end of it.
I'm sorry, I am yawning a lot. I don't know if there's like lack of oxygen in here or what it is. It's been a long couple days maybe, but I am not bored, y'all. I am just tired.
I see how it is, Jason. Why don't we just end the show early?
All this shoveling I have to do here in Canada.
That doesn't sound fun.
Honestly, it hasn't stopped snowing. Like we had another snowstorm this week, and you have to shovel like 3 times in a day. It's all good.
Yeah, we've been watching the weather updates of like just the whole East Coast getting blasted. Meanwhile, we desperately need the rain, and we haven't had rain or water or anything for over a month.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting near the end of our time.
Yes.
So just for fun, has there been any like favorite moments in the campaign so far, or like scary moments for you, or any standout DM moments that have happened?
Yeah, that's a great question. I will be honest, the last couple months has been a blur, and it all is kind of mush in my brain. So asking me
can't
to
possibly be why.
asking me to recall anything specific takes.
Sorry.
You may smell smoke from here. Standout moments. That's a great question that I don't have an answer to.
All right.
That's so horrible. That is so horrible. I'm gonna push that out to. I'm gonna push that out to the folks at home.
The audience.
Yeah,
Yes.
those of you who are watching, have there been any standout moments that you've really enjoyed from this season thus far? Okay, I will say the way that they got through meeting Lenny, and then the way they got through the gate was awesome. Joel's role play in that was really great. I thought for sure they
Yes.
would have triggered and aggroed some soldiers, but didn't, and some Crownsguard, but didn't. So that was great. That was a standout moment for me, for sure.
That was a really fun one. Oh, also, definitely not the rabbit per Mr. Jones. That was so fun. And man, you really like bested yourself with the name of that episode, Splitting Hairs.
I know. Yes, that is absolutely one of my highlights, was the Splitting Hairs title for that episode.
That was hilarious. Yep.
That was funny.
And it looks like Scott Strawbridge said that was definitely one of his favorite moments too.
Yeah, that was great.
Just so silly. I love those. That's one of my favorite parts of D&D, is like when you're not on main mission and you're just trying to do something to get something done, and it just goes totally haywire and takes way too much time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's totally entertaining.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I think we're just about at the end.
Yes.
So before we go, we have a giveaway to do.
We do.
But we don't have a guest here to roll dice for us. So what are we going to do, Jason?
You're going to roll them.
Ah.
I have to.
What do I need? A D4 and a D100?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Well,
what you need.
I've got my
and I need to go.
I need got my little
to go to
wizard
the
tower
website to look at the bracket.
Yeah. I definitely got the wizard tower from Mithril was selling it for a while on their website.
Oh, the Lego
wizard tower dice roller thingy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to use to roll our dice tonight. I tried to show it on the camera, but my background filter made it go away, and I'm not taking away my background filter because my office is a mess. So
can we call it instead of Lego? Can we call it Les Faux? Like faux, like it's
Les
fake.
Faux.
Les Faux.
That works.
That's my. I'm such a nerd.
Alrighty,
All right.
I've got my dice ready to go.
Do it. Roll them.
All right, D4 first.
Yes.
That is a 2.
So 1.
Yes.
100 and.
I'm so bad at reading D100s. So the first one is a 1.
Yeah.
And the second one is a 10.
So 11.
The 1,
11.
not the 0, the 1. So 11.
11. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
11. So sorry. So you rolled a 1 and an 11.
I have a D100 twice. So they both said 1 0. So that's a 1 and a 1, right?
Yeah. 1 0. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. My brain isn't working right now, but yes, I think that is correct. So that would be 111.
My brain never works with percentile dice. Yes. So 11.
111. Oath Keeper is the winner of the Forge Dice. Oath Keeper we will reach out to you, Oathkeeper.
Congratulations, Oathkeeper.
Congrats. I'm so excited to see the bracket right now on our website, like filling out and like actually putting people kind of where they are depending on how they're doing in the bracket. So fun.
Super exciting. And I clicked on the little doohickey today and I saw the location for the next one.
What's the location, Hillary?
I guess it's not really a spoiler since you can click on it and find out.
Yeah.
But it's Avernus.
Yes.
Avernus?
Avernus. Is Avernus the next one?
I don't know where the emphasis goes.
Yeah. I think it is Avernus is the next one. Or is it Avernus in the final one? I have to check. That might be a typo.
Oh.
No, next one is... Are you getting noise?
No. Are you getting noise?
Sorry.
I'm confused. I don't know what's happening.
I have the website open and the trailer started autoplaying for me and just blew my eardrums. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
Owie.
That was weird. Okay. Okay. So, what was the question? No, Underdark is the next one.
Underdark. Ooh, I love me some Underdark.
Yeah. Underdark, I believe, is the next one. Yeah.
That's very
cool. Which is great. It's Baloth's home turf.
Oh, that's
we'll
right.
See what happens. I'm very excited.
Do you get any sort of a home turf advantage?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Tune in next week, folks, to find out.
It's awesome.
All right. And on that note, I think we've come to the end of our time today. Is there anything else? Any last thoughts that you want to share?
No.
Azevedo?
No, I think things are great. I thank everyone for your support on Champions. It's been a lot of fun. We have 2 episodes left. The final episode of the semifinals, which is Volania versus Baloth, and then we'll see what happens for the final. We know already that Esmeralda is going through. And we'll be in the finals. It's great to have one of our own Realm Smith folks in there. That was not planned, even though some people on the internet have said it is. That was absolutely not. That is square and fair, fair and square.
Square and fair.
And we're very, very excited to see it and show it to the world. So that and Monday back to Tides. It's gonna be great.
Yes. I have no idea who has won Champions of the Realm. They don't let us know either, but my money is on Ez. She's my hero. She's pretty cool. I'm a big fan. Also, she's a blade singer, and so am I.
Like in real life?
Huh?
Like
yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah, Dex is totally not my dump stat in real life.
I like it.
All right. Well, on that note, huge thanks to Forged Gaming for having faith in us and your continued support. Big thanks to Uriah and Jason for joining me this evening. It's been an honor as always. Huge thanks to our Realm Watchers, our Technomancers, and our Weavers of all varieties. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being a part of our community. The biggest thanks to the fellow Smithgardians. You guys do a ton of work keeping everything going, and you guys are the best. And of course, thank you to each and every single one of our viewers for being here and showing up week after week and being excited about our new content and supporting everything that we do. We love you, and we will see you Monday as we venture back into the wild.
Bye.